The castle that was built in the 1300s is now under the command of this rogue army. And they have no manners for decoration. They don't care about the infrastructure, or maybe even have the budget to fix this. So this mission has the ugliest looking location of the whole game. And of course we have to infiltrate the place. Before diving into the gameplay details, I would like to talk about some of the geometry. As we know, this base is only accessible through the cable car, but still, we can see some vehicles inside of the base. How do you think that got in there? The base does have a couple of gateways, and no, these were not built in the 1300s. These are newly made gateways. What are these for? Because on the outside, there is nothing. It's just a ditch, and it seems like it's really difficult for any vehicle to get up here. So I'm guessing this is for the time when someone just wants to walk outside for some training maybe? Or maybe for some punishment? Could be any future project. But I can guess no developer in 1999 was that focused on the lore. It's not functional, so don't worry, but yeah, I used to play this mission in my childhood and it did scare the shit out of me because it does look alive. And then I really hated climbing on top of these towers. Because sometimes it's just a plain ladder, you can go up, come down, easy peasy. But sometimes it tricks us because it has 2 floors. Climbing up may not be so bad, but when we have to come down, this switching stairs is just annoying. And it's no different. I've checked everything, it's the same size, it's the same length. Then why some of these towers are double floored while some of them are single? And realistically, the ones with 2 different floors, they make the more sense because it's an extra space. Why would someone waste that? But at least the towers with 2 different stairs could have had like a window here. That would have been visibly awesome. And then this mission has a problem. Because there is no easy way to get across through the other side. Why is it so difficult and complicated? Why do I have to climb up the tower to get to the other side of the base? How much more inconvenient can it be? Well, thank God we do have these little broken walls and pillars that we can use to get across without climbing on top of the towers. But playing it for the first time, who would even think about looking for an alternate path? And taking the longer route is just gut-wrenching. Now getting back to the mission itself, this is one of the only 3 missions in the game where we are locked inside of a boundary, and it has a linear path, also kind of confusing. But for 25 years, we never knew that this mission had a hidden cutscene, which can only be triggered if we kill ourselves right before the start of the final cutscene. We are gonna take a look at that soon, but this mission is hard. It has no lack of verticality, visibility is a problem, the navigation is terrible, and even considering the linear path and the boundary, the area is quite huge, bigger than most games of the time. Along with the fact that it also has an underground section. But for some reason I have my issues with this. The first one is as soon as we arrive through the cable car. Everything here feels different than whatever we have felt so far throughout the whole game. Every other mission begins in the open. We could see the environment. This one is indoors. So it feels like maybe somehow the production changed their direction. Maybe they thought finally this is where we need to start focusing on the stealth aspects. That's why the background music sounds less atmospheric and more James Bond-like. This reminds me of Half-Life for some reason because that's how the texture looked like. Then we have a little control room here, but we cannot do much. It would have been awesome if we could push a button and let the cable car go back, even if it was unrelated to the mission. And I did try following these cables to see if I could get back to the previous mission location, just like we can do in I.G.I 2. But now the cables just disappear mid-air. And if we go back to the linear mission path, this is the underground section. We have to kill a bunch of guards, grab this mini-me ammo, which is just there for some reason. Then we have this door, which has always been a huge curiosity since our childhood, but if we take a look at the other side, it's just limbo. So let's get back to fighting the guards, and these fighting angles are as unfair as they can get. So after this short underground section, when we come up through the lift, and this is where things get scary. especially if you're playing hard mode, because the guards then can see you from up there and start shooting at you. This is the reason why we have to pick up the sniper from the previous mission, because this is actually where it gets useful. Sometimes it is necessary to get up there and get swarmed by guards shooting at you from everywhere, so it's not that much fun. And then the only cool thing we could have done was to climb on top of this pillar, and we cannot do that. Why, inner loop? And there's only one guard in the whole map who has a different weapon. He has a mini-me for some reason. I'm not sure why, but maybe this was an accident and the devs thought like, okay, if we are gonna have a mini-me by accident, why not put some ammo for it too? But why mini-me? This isn't a mission where I have to go chaotic. Why not give him a Dragunov sniper I could use? Maybe a silenced MP5? Why not a Desert Eagle so that I could one-shot everyone from a distance? Well, mini-me isn't the worst choice. It's still not useful. But moving forward, we have this tank hangar, and the tanks don't work, thank God. Just besides that, we have this gate. And then we have a couple of ways to get to the next segment, which is to either take the regular route, or maybe the secret one. We cannot find much in this building, but the next segment right here, this is interesting. Fighting the guards is not that hard, but this is where we probably are out of Dragunov ammo. Thankfully, we can find an extra Dragunov right here in this first barracks, and it becomes useful immediately. Then moving forward, we have to get to the next headquarters building. One way is the shortcut, which is through this gate, and to be honest, I never knew about this until recently. And if you don't know about that gate, you can go in through this building, find this medkit which is useful, come out the back, climb on top of the ladders, and then use this path, go down the other way, and now we are in the next segment. The only good thing that happens in this route is that medkit we find, or else it's a huge time waste if you don't know about this gate. The headquarters building is also useless, there's nothing in there, but we have to kill these guards because they're going to be a huge pain if we don't. And why? Inner Loop Studios, why? Why? Why a machine gun on this side of the window? Why not the other side? That would have been so much fun and so awesome to kill these guards using that machine gun. Anyways, moving forward, this is probably the most confusing part of the map. Because if we take a look at the map computer, it shows us objective 1 is right here. Anyone can see that it's an underground base for something, but since nobody knows how to get in there, I am pretty sure all of us kept walking around the entire grill, searching to find something in these barracks, and then we can see that this mission actually has a mechanism for the alarm. So why doesn't the alarm go off? And then we move forward, finding this closed gate. Tried hopping over some broken wall to get in there. And if someone did actually manage to get to the other side, what to do now? How do I get in?
Let me in! Let me in!
That's when we realize that we have to climb on top of another tower to get across to the other side and drop down to this place. This is where we move forward to the next segment. How cruel can the developers be? Well, technically they are not that cruel because they did give us this broken wall that we can use to hop to the other side. But anyways, clearing another useless building, we come to this final location where there's a gate, a few watchtowers and guards, and then another underground section. There's not much in this section. We only have these green goo machinery that does something. And then the chopper section. I tried looking around everywhere, nothing useful. The only way to finish the mission is to get up into this room. And it's weird, like, this is such a huge place and there's not even one guard. There should have been at least a few guards in this room to fight. Now, once we are up here, Jones takes a look at this disassembled missile and immediately tells Anya about it, who then confirms that they are trying to make a portable nuke. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And that is where the real objective of the mission, which was to kill Ek, she finds a way to escape, and this is where Jones gets furious. This is where the mission ends, but after a long 25 years, some YouTubers were playing the game and they got bored. So just before the mission triggered its final cutscene, they killed themselves. What happened there was that the game triggered a cutscene that should have been there in the first place and it never worked. It only works if we kill ourselves before the mission ends. And this is where we get the best looking shot of David Jones and also what this whole Ek situation is all about. It gives us an important detail about who Ek is and what is she trying to achieve. And then we can see a shot of Jones leaving the area. So Eagle Nest 2 might not be the best mission. It's quite scary, it's long, it's a little frustrating, it's difficult, but it was one hell of an experience. Especially playing on hard mode where the guards can see you from a long distance and you can't even see where they are. But in the end, it's a beautiful memory and a place of nostalgia. So that was all for this video. Hasta la vista, baby.